If we talk about children and Tyla, there is something very important that fathers should know. If you're not married to the mother of a child, even if your name is on the birth certificate, you normally have no rights under Tyla on this child. What we mean is like the mother has all the rights under Tyla. There are three ways that you can change that. Number one, you can marry like this, the mother of the child. So then you will be granted by law some rights automatically. The second way, you can make an agreement at the local registration office. This is called the EMPER or KET. An agreement means like the mother will agree and grant you some rights. You will agree also and sign your name. And normally the EMPER will ask the child if the child also consents that you will be granted some rights. So for a child to consent, the child must be old enough. What is old enough? We don't know exactly, but the child must, for example, be able to sign and understand what is signing. Some EMPER will not accept a young child to sign, and each EMPER will be different. So you must verify if the EMPER where you live, where the child is registered, will accept this agreement. Now, if you cannot agree with the mother to grant you some rights, or if the EMPER cannot grant you these rights by agreement, and if you don't want to get married with the mother but you still want some rights on the child, you should go to court and ask parental powers. To do this, it's not very difficult, and because the criteria is what is the best interest of the child, most courts, unless there's very special circumstances, they will grant you these rights. It will take about 6 months. There will be it's a three-step process. The first step, you will give the documents to the court. You will explain in a petition why you want to be granted like parental powers. You will say, for example, that you are the child, that you take care of the child. The second step will be like that you will meet somebody at the juvenile division. It's a kind of social worker. They will make a report, and this will be used at the court. And the third step will be at the court. Then you will have to make your proof, and you will have to show a judge that it's in the best interest of the child to give you some parental rights. Parental rights include like custody rights, physical custody. They include also like rights of visitations. They include rights to decide about education. It's a very large concept, but if you are granted parental powers, you will have the same powers as the mother. This process will take about 6 months in court. It's not a difficult process. In court, also before the trial, the court will try to make you make an agreement with the mother. It means like you might have a negotiation session with all the lawyers, and then they will try to make an agreement. If you make an agreement with the mother, that is very good, because an agreement made in court under Tyla is going to be like registered by the judge, and this has the same value as a judgment. So this will grant you like parental powers. And if you want full and sole custody, that's another step. Basically, if somebody wants full and sole custody of a child, he must first be granted parental powers and then try to get full custody. The criteria is the same. What is the best interest of the child? Sometimes we can combine the two steps into one. So we go to court and we ask parental powers, and then we ask like full and sole custody. But for full and sole custody, it's much more difficult. If you're, for example, like a foreign father and you want full and sole custody, and the child is with like the mother, it might be very difficult, because a judge will probably like not want to separate the mother from the child. You will have to show, for example, that it's the best interest of the child to be with you, and with fully you, like only you, and not with the mother. This is how it works more or less.